Hello everyone, what's up? Prince Dean here with another video review. Today I'm reviewing Transformers Siege War for Cybertron Deluxe Class Ironhide from, well, Siege War for Cybertron. So here's Ironhide, but really quick we'll take a look at his box. These are some really cool boxes that come with the Siege line, and this one is no exception. It's really kind of, I've never really seen a Transformers package quite like this. Of course, with Studio Series we get kind of the nice, each deluxe feels like a mini Voyager, both in box design and price. But with these, it's just really cool. So, of course, it says Ironhide along the side there. This is from Siege War for Cybertron trilogy. This is for ages 8 and up, 8 plus, whichever you want to say. But of course, that's just a suggestion. They have to put on there. This is made by Hasbro. Transformers. This is from the Transformers Generations line, and it's also co-made by Takara Tomy. Cool that we're seeing that on American boxes. On the side here, we've got a really cool picture of Ironhide in a battle stance. He's a deluxe class. Flip it around to the side, and we've got a nice poster artwork thing for War for Cybertron, proving that this is indeed an authentic Transformer. And on the back, we see that, here's all the things you can do with the toy. One thing that you can do is you can get these Battle Masters that come with these different effects, and you can put them on gun ports and stuff. I've never actually found one on store shelves, so obviously the box says they exist. I've never found them, which is kind of concerning to me because there's a couple that I want to pick up just for the parts effects, but oh well. It warns you not to eat the toy because it's hard to digest plastic, and that's pretty much it for the box. So yeah, here's Ironhide from War for Cybertron Siege. Very, very cool. His vehicle mode here is essentially just a Cybertronian version of his G1 van alt mode, which is cool. It does look like a Cybertronian version of an Earth van from the 1980s. So I really like this design. It's really actually pretty cool. If I have one complaint, it's that you do just see his head sitting there. Maybe it would have been better if this had been blue, colored blue instead of being completely clear. But oh well, that's a small gripe. Otherwise, I love this vehicle form. This is just really, really cool. He doesn't roll exceptionally well. He just kind of scoots along. I don't know whether it's just a my copy thing, or I've kind of come to the thought that maybe it's just this wooden table. Things just can't really roll on it well, because let's see here. Let's get a size comparison going here with Age of Extinction Deluxe Bumblebee. B here rolls a little bit, but not really that much better. So I think this may just be a bad surface for doing a roll test. But here's how they look together, comparing some deluxes. And then we'll also bring in a bit of a throwback here, Fall of Cybertron Deluxe Optimus. So it's two Cybertronian vehicles next to each other. I think that's kind of cool. Optimus is a very short figure compared to Ironhide. Ironhide is a nice length. This is a very small figure overall, though. So yeah, so that's size comparisons. Now you can store his weapon here in multiple places. So here's his weapon, and then there's different ports. You can stick it here. You can stick it here. You could stick it, there. Maybe if you you could do that if you wanted to. Looks a little silly, but yeah, so that's pretty much it for the weapon storage because of the way it's made. It's like this is in vehicle mode. This is the port you use to make it stay in vehicle form, but because there's not hands or anything for them to grip, so you're kind of limited in that. So that's pretty much it for the weapon storage and the vehicle overall. So let's go ahead and get down to transformation. Transformation on this toy is very short, sweet, and simple. I really enjoy that about this toy. So first you want to untab these. Now, I feel like this is a my copy thing because I've seen a couple reviews, and as far as I remember, I don't really remember this being mentioned, but on my copy, these do have a tendency to pop off very easy. So I mean, see just what you can see there that it's already kind of. So it's an annoyance, but it's not really that big a deal because they pop in just as easily as they pop off. So it's annoying for that to happen, but so next we just basically just pull these apart. So now we've got the legs here. We want to separate this and bring it down, and then we can move these legs out of the way and swing that around. Just bring these back on either side, and now you've got the legs done. So now we can separate the arms, bring them down, push that back. So here we'll want to push this in first, then bring back the head. That kind of snaps in, kind of not really a snap, but more pops in place, as you could hear. And then you can position this pretty much how you like. It is on a double hinge, so I kind of like to put it up like this. And yeah. All right, there we have Ironhide. And the robot mode looks very good. I mean, this is G1 Ironhide at his best. I mean, this figure looks so good. I feel like. I mean, this is a Cybertronian G1 Ironhide, and I love that. So, just kind of give you the 360 here. We'll take a look at his face. The face looks very nice. If I had to have one complaint about the figure in robot mode, it's that this part maybe is just a little bigger than I would like, because it was obviously very prevalent in G1, but it wasn't this. It seems like it's a lot bigger here on this figure than it was in G1. But granted, while this is of course based off of the G1 design, it's not straight up G1. This is a new continuity, I guess. So. So I mean, it's a nitpick, really. It's not even a complaint. It's a nitpick that's just a little large. Otherwise, I think this figure is great. So you can, of course, give him his weapon. Because of its length, he can't just hold it straight on. You do have, excuse me, hiccup there. You do have to put it at an angle, kind of like that. So it can lead to some more kind of awkward he can't hold it straight on if you just want to do that. So it can potentially lead to a little bit of awkward posing. But if you're having trouble posing him in certain places with the gun mode, then you can just transform that. And now we have the axe mode, which actually I prefer the gun mode, but the kind of axe, actually I suppose that's more of a hammer. The hammer mode is a little easier for posing him in. So yeah, he looks really cool. I really like this figure. So we'll bring in some other toys for size comparison here. Here he is with the Last Night Deluxe Edition B. Of course, it's the exact same toy as the Age of Extinction Deluxe B. It's just that there's a different paint job. So Ironhide much bigger than that version, than this version of Bumblebee. And then we'll also, of course, bring in a Fall of Cybertron Optimus again. He's much bigger than Optimus, because that's actually a pretty small toy when you think about it. So he towers over both of them, but I mean it's three different toys from three different continuities, so not really that big a deal. They're not really supposed to be in scale with each other, but that's how he sizes up with them. So we'll just move them off to the side, and that's pretty much it for Ironhide. There's not really too much to talk about here. I mean, he's straight up a G1 Ironhide, and I really appreciate that, because when was the last time we got an Ironhide toy, let alone a G1 Ironhide? It's been The last time I can remember an Ironhide toy being on store shelves was probably 2011 when Dark of the Moon was out, and we got the Voyager and Leader Ironhide in 2011. After that, I can't remember, because we'd never gotten Ironhide for War For or Fall of Cybertron when those games were out. Yeah, Ironhide and Ratchet. They shared a body, of course, so they never saw a release. I guess the engineers at Hasbro just never could figure out how to get those to work as toys, or they were so, granted, with Fall of Cybertron there were so many other designs. I think the ones we did get were probably the better ones to go with, but it's been a long time since we've had an Ironhide, so I'm glad that there's another one on store shelves, and it's a G1 Ironhide at that. Okay, I suppose that last year we did get a Studio Series Ironhide. I forgot about him. So, but still, regardless, there is a gap between Ironhide toy releases from 2011 to 2018 when we got the Studio Series Ironhide. To then, I think this is a toy he may have been starting to be found in late 2018, but he's definitely a 2019 figure. I think I'm not wrong on that. So there's still like a 7-year gap between versions of Ironhide that were released. So it's cool to see another Ironhide floating around there, and a G1 Ironhide at that. So I think he's really cool. Ironhide's one of my favorite characters from G1. So to have a very accurate version, well, not accurate, because of course he turns into a Cybertronian van, an Earth van, but I mean, it's a Cybertronian version of that Earth van from the time, so regardless, it's still cool. It's still really cool to have this figure. The War for Cybertron line for G1 fans, I think, is really right up their alley, because while of course, Combiner Wars and the Power of the Primes, that trilogy of toy lines that we got, those were obviously based on G1, but looking at a lot of those figures compared to these Siege toys, it's like, yeah, obviously based on G1, but these are way better. I mean, you look at granted it was a Leader figure, but you look at that Leader Megatron compared to the Voyager Megatron from Siege, I think the Siege Megatron's way better. So yeah, so I really like this Ironhide. If you're an Ironhide fan, then I would totally recommend him. If you just like these Siege toys at all, then in general, then I would recommend picking him up then too. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this review. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. Remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Those links are in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.